Next. Hey y'all, we are at number 6. And we are at the point where I believe that these are the contenders. And I think that a lot of people would believe that these are contenders. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Maybe one of the AFC East teams. And they might be, but these have, I'm more confident in these teams. Um, Even though they have some holes as well that are not that holes, but things that I'm like eyebrow raised on. So my number 6 is the San Francisco 49ers. And the only reason I have eyebrow raised on them is that they had a cake schedule. Like, it's not only their schedule, but the quarterbacks that they win against. It was just really, really easy for them. And this is also a team that always is injured. They always have injuries, and they missed injuries bad. Like they were barely hurt at all last year. Like guys like Elijah Mitchell had something going on, but and uh, George Kittle had something at the beginning of the year, but towards down the stretch, they were surprisingly healthy. So those are the only eyebrow raises that I have, and I got some more, but I want to keep it consistent for what we normally do and like how we normally start. But this is all being said that I really like the 49ers. I just, they're my bottom of the contenders, I think. So let's do what we always do, go to PFF. Their O line is 18th, their D line is second, and their defensive backs are ninth. I don't agree with the defensive backs at all being ninth, but O line and D line, I'm right there with. D line could be number one. It's a very, very good D line. So it's about in line with how I would have it. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but they basically gave up their depth at offensive line and their depth at secondary for Javon Hargrave. But Javon Hargrave is really good at football. So, I mean, if they think that they can make up that on the O line and on the secondary, then who am I to say they can't? So let's let's not go to the schedule yet. Let's see who they brought on and who they. No, let's go to the schedule first because it flows better if I say the schedule, then who they brought on, and then the next schedule. Yeah, sweet. You're cool, right? So yeah, let's go last year's schedule. So they're at Bears. They lose that game 19-10. That was the monsoon. So whatever. Then they come back and play the Seahawks. They win 27-7. They go at Broncos, lose 11-10. They play at home against the Rams. They win 24-9. They go to Panthers and win 37-15. They go to Falcons away. They lose 28-14. They get the Chiefs at home. They lose 44-23. They go at Rams and they win. I had that as a loss. No, they lose that game? Oh, I guess they lose. I guess that's right. I guess they lose 31-14. Chargers at home, they win 22-16. At Cardinals, they win 38-10. Saints at home, they win 13-0. Dolphins at home, they win 33-17. Bucks at home, they win 35-7. At Seattle, they win 21-13. Commanders at home, they win 37-20. At Raiders, they win 37-34. That was an overtime game. And then at Cards, they win 38-13. Wow, they lost the Rams. Wow, I guess. Yeah, they did because I had them losing the Rams again. Because sorry guys, their losses are at Bears, at Broncos, at Rams, and at home to the Chiefs. So, and then they go on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 game winning streak. And a lot of that is because they think of Brock Purdy, right? Everybody's on the Purdy train and he did well. Let's go over those quarterbacks that they went on that winning streak that they went against. They went against, this is after the bye. They go against Herbert with broken ribs. They go against Colt McCoy, Andy Dalton, Tua, what was left of Brady, Geno Smith, Taylor Heineke, Jared Stidham, and David Blau. So that's what gives me eyebrow raise, right? So before that, they were 9 games or 8, so they're 4-4. They're 4-4, and they go on a 9-game winning streak against those quarterbacks. And even before those quarterbacks, they're playing Mariota, Baker, Russell Wilson, which Justin Fields, like they luck out. They luck out. That doesn't mean to say that they're crushing people. I mean, they beat the Cardinals 38-13. They beat the Bucks 35-7. I mean, they beat the Cardinals 38-10. They beat the Panthers 37-15. I mean, they're crushing people. So it's just like a eyebrow raise. It's you kind of lucked out a little bit, and it's also it's got to be pretty comfortable if you're Brock Purdy when you have all your players that are, a lot of them are usually hurt, and your defense has to go against those guys. So I don't know. I like Brock Purdy. I think he played very, very well, but he got a lot of benefit, and he never had to go against some like adversity. Like there was no like comeback wins. I mean, I guess the Raiders, but like, why is that close? Yeah, all these are just they destroy all of them. There's no there's no adversity. So I kind of I want to see that from him, but he looked good. I mean, what are you going to do? Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl destroying people. So like you can front run and you keep front running, then just keep front running. I don't know. Like it doesn't mean he can't do it. It's just like I'd love to see it. So that was last year. They went 13-4. They went to the NFC Championship game. We all know what happened. They lose to the Eagles because everyone goes down. And so everybody's revenge. They want revenge on the Eagles, and they think they should have won if they didn't have everybody go down. There's a new rule that you can carry 3 quarterbacks now. So a lot of that happened. And then Armstead missed a few games last year. So when I say everybody was healthy, I guess I was lying, because Armstead did miss a lot of games last year. I think he only played 9. So they wanted to get some depth at the position. So they went and got Javon Hargrave, which I mean, is really good player. And it makes the Eagles worse. So you know how I am. You get better, make them worse. You win out. So if you play the Eagles again, they're not doing it with their full team. And then you get Isaiah Oliver at corner, meh. Sam Darnold, meh. You get like guys like Miles Hartfield, who he wouldn't make the Panthers roster this year. I like Miles Hartfield when he was at the Panthers, but he wouldn't make this roster. And then you don't draft until 3rd. You get a safety in Brown. You get a tight end in I guess Cameron Latu. And then you get another defensive lineman and another linebacker, but they're late picks. I guess you get the tight end because Kittle, I think, is about to be 30. He's getting older and he's dealing with injuries. So you shore up your defensive tackle position. You bring on another cornerback. Yeah, sure. But you lose McGlinchey, right tackle. You lose Garoppolo. You lose Ibokin, Aminahu. I wish I could say all these guys' names. Jimmy Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, and then another tackle, and then Al-Shahir. So you lose a lot of guys on defense. You lose your 2 top corners, or like 2 of your top corners. I guess not your 2 top corners. And then you lose your, I guess, a lot of starters, like 4 starters that you lose. They were 8th, 9th, and 10th in tackles at DN, linebacker, and another DN spot. So, and you lose two tackles. So, it's a lot of guys you lose, but you get Hargrave. I mean, Rams kind of gave us the playbook, right? They lost a lot of guys, but they got Ramsey and they got Von Miller. And those guys are pretty important to a Super Bowl run. So I don't know if I hate it or I don't know if I don't hate it, because I don't know what their depth's like, because I haven't seen a lot of them. But the reason that I'm thinking about their D backs at ninth, I mean, you got Chartavius Ward, and then you're starting at yeah, I can even see at least Dimadori, and then I don't know, and then nickel your Isaiah Oliver that you just picked up, and your depth you have Hartsfield and I it maybe I don't know, who knows. I'm gonna go with Pro Football Focus because I don't know these new guys well enough. I know the guys they lost. I know Jimmy Ward and I know Mosley. They were good players. And if they think that they can build up that secondary, they can. I know they lost D'Amico Ryans. He went to the Texans. So they brought in Steve Wilkes, the Panthers. He was great. Steve Wilkes, it seemed that the biggest problem on the team last year was our secondary. A lot of it is because we were hurt, but we lost that Tampa Bay game because the secondary kept getting burned. Steve Wilkes is a good coach, though. I mean, I just got to assume that these coaches can coach up these guys and that they are as good as they are on paper. But overall, you know, new defensive coach, new defensive secondary. You stayed really, really healthy last year. I mean, you have Chris McCaffrey hadn't played all of his games in 2 years, and then he goes for a full season. Debo is healthy. Kittle was healthy towards the end of the year, and that was Purdy's one of his favorite targets. Brandon Ayuk, like ridiculously healthy, and you have probably the best left tackle in football. But overall, your O line is 18th, middle of the pack. That's fine. It's not a you're fine. So let's go into what I'm getting into next year. So next year, I had them starting off at Pitt. That's a loss. At Rams, I think that's a loss because I don't if you follow me, I don't like away, and I don't like away division. So they're better than the Rams, but they lost the Rams last year at Rams, and it's away, which I never like, especially to start a season. So I have those loss. Thursday night football, they get the Giants coming cross country at home. I think that's an easy win. Arizona at home, easy win. And I got Dallas at home. I got that as a win because it's home. They go at Cleveland. I have that as a win. And then your Monday night football at Minnesota, even though it's away, which I don't like, you're not going completely cross country for either one. And you get a longer week because it's Monday night football from Cleveland to Minnesota. So I have it as a win because I also don't like Minnesota's offensive line, and I think you have one of the best front sevens in football. So I'm going with them to win both of those. Then you catch Cincinnati at home. You're on a short week and you're traveling back, right? So you're traveling on a short week even though you're playing at home. So I have that as a loss. And then you're at Jacksonville. I have it as a loss, mostly because Trevor Lawrence is good and he get the ball out fast, and I don't trust your secondary yet. So you're traveling all the way to Jacksonville, and you're going. I think it goes into a shootout, and I think you lose the shootout and you're away. So I have it as a loss, but that it can go either way. And then you're home at Tampa Bay. They're coming cross country. They're not a very good team. Then you're traveling on a short week, Thursday night football at Seattle. So I have that as a loss. Same thing. They have a bunch of they'll spread you out. They have a bunch of receivers, especially with JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think is how you say his name. Is the new guy, and then they got DK and Lockett, and they're just well coached. They got Carroll, so and you beat them in the playoffs, and you beat them twice last year. I think they get a little revenge on you. Then you're at Philly. They also want revenge, and it's away. Even though you have basically a mini bye where you get 10 days before Philly. So I had that as a loss just because it's away, and Philly wants some. And Philly knows that you want some redemption, but maybe you do. Maybe you get it. I don't know. That's just a tough to go from at Seattle at Philly. So as a loss, I have you winning at home against Seattle and then winning at Arizona. Monday Night Football, you're winning at home against Baltimore. I'm not sure if Lamar's going to play. Then he's missed games ending the season last 2 years. We'll see. Um, then you go at Washington on a short week, and I almost have that as a loss. But I think that you're going to be trying really hard. Like you have to make the playoffs because I think Seattle's staying right with you, and you got to keep up with them. So I have that as a win, even though Washington also needs that win. So I got it as a win, but it's cross country. It's against that defense, and it's makes you nervous. And I also am just assuming that the Niners stay healthy. So, and then you're at home to the Rams. They're done by that point. Stafford might already be traded at that point. I mean, they're still going to have young guys trying hard, and they're going to they might give you a tough time, but you need that win. I think because you've already won the division at this point, but you are vying for a position in the playoffs. So I got them at 11-6 this year. So let's just go back to how they ended, right? So Herbert broken ribs, Colt McCoy, Andy Dalton, Tua, Brady, Geno Smith, Taylor Heineke, Jared Stidham, David Blau. This year you get Dak, Cousins, Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Hurts, Lamar. Like, I don't. I think you're still. I mean, I'm confident in this team. They're still a contender. I'm just saying that those are my worries. Like your schedule, I think gets a little harder. Your division, you had two quarterbacks in your division go down last year. I mean, who cares with the Cardinals? They're going to tank anyways. But the Rams might be better than we think they are. I like what McVay's doing. We didn't think that young team when he first took over was going to be any good, and they were really good. I think we're also getting to a point where we're assuming that Kyle Shanahan is just an excellent coach, right? We're just assuming that. Dude's had 3 winning years and 3 losing years. And if you say, well, he lost because of injury, that's my concern. that his teams get injured a lot. And I hope I'm wrong on that because they've got future Hall of Famers on their team. I think both linebackers could be future Hall of Famers. Like Warner's definitely going to be. Armstead can definitely be. Chris McCaffrey maybe. They've got excellent. Trent Williams probably will be a Hall of Famer. They got excellent players, and Kyle Shanahan is good. But the last 6 years since he's been there, the Niners are 52-46. That ranks 14th. I still think that they are a contender, and I still think that they're a very, very good team. I just, I'm trying to cover all bases here and make sure I'm not just jumping on the train that we get on when we see people scoring a lot of points and winning games and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of it is injury, but that's kind of his system. People get hurt. That's kind of Mike McDaniel's had a lot of guys get hurt last year, especially running backs. And they come from the same tree. So I still have an 11-6. That wins the division. That brings them this 3 seed, and I have them winning this round and then losing the next. I can't remember exactly who, but I'm not doing my whole playoff picture. But I think they're the first of the real contenders. I think all of the top 6 teams are absolute contenders. But man, Chris McCaffrey goes down. I don't know. Warner goes down. Trent Williams goes down. But you know, that's the risk, right? You can't. These guys aren't going to be on. They're all going to get paid at some point. They're going to get paid a lot of money. Like Hargrave just got paid, and uh, and there's a window because Warner's in his prime, Greenlaw's in his prime. It's probably getting towards the end of Armstead's prime, but he's still in his prime. Tre'Davious Ward's still in his prime. Probably end of McCaffrey's prime, but he's still in his prime. Debo's. I mean, you got to take advantage of this. So McVay made the playbook, and the 49ers are a well-run organization. And they're like, all right, I guess we should just do that too, and that's what they're doing. So I like it. I like the not the risk, but the aggressiveness. So yeah, 49ers number 6 for me. I love them being aggressive. I would love to see Christian McCaffrey um, hold up a Lombardi. It would be sad with not with the Panthers, but he deserves it. He's a good guy. He did a lot for the city of Charlotte. And let's go CMC. So that's it. Number 6, the San Francisco 49ers. Thanks all for watching, and like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, bye.